Hi everyone, Jeremy here from VGK Studio, and today I'll show you how to create this location lower third title from scratch in Fusion. You can grab this asset for free with the link in the description below, but first let me walk you through the motion graphic principles behind it so you can actually understand how it works and build the skill set to do it yourself. So let's get into it. Alright, so to do a location lower third is pretty straightforward. You can go over here to your effect tab, go to the effect section, and then bring a new Fusion composition here and your timeline. Then we're going to move over to the Fusion tab. Then once in Fusion, what we're going to do is bring first a background, and we're going to link that background to the media out. Then we're going to bring the alpha channel down all the way to 0. Just this is going to serve as our canvas. To craft our lower third, we're going to start by bringing some text nodes. So I'm going to take one text node and drag that in, and I'm going to take a second one for my second line and drag that in as well. We're then going to link the output of that text one to the background one to link it to the main composition. And then we're going to do the same thing here with the text two, linking that to the merge. That way we're now going to see those text visible as soon as I'm going to input some text right here. So let's say here we're starting with the main location, which is the city. So we're going to write New York, for example. I'm going to switch the font for Poppin, which I tend to like. And I'm going to change the color here for red. So I'm going to go and just select red right here. Select OK. Now that I have my text, I would like to do a box around it. There is many ways to do it. You could use here a rectangle node, but there is a simpler way to do it directly here in the shading tab, and on top of that, that's going to make it reactive if you ever change that text. So here I'm going to go to the select element number 2. We're going to click enable, and it's an outline for now. So I'm just going to switch that for fill, and now we have a bunch of text box. We cannot see anything, so I'm going to swap from red to white. And now to get rid of the gap that we have here in between the word, I'm going to change from level character to now text, and that's just going to fill up the entirety of the text. You can then make some further modification if you want to. For example, here, if you want to have a rounded corner, you could do that right here. You can also adjust the horizontal and the vertical spacing between the border of the text and the box. But right now, I'm just going to reset everything to the default value. Now that's for our first text. I'm going to take that and drag it to the side for now. Now let's move on to the text 2. And now we're going to write the detail address. So let's say 747 6th Avenue. I'm going to do the same thing, and here swap the font for Poppin. Though this time, instead of bold, I'm going to go down to regular. That way I'll have more contrast between the main title and the secondary title. We're going to do the same thing, and here go over to shading. Select element number 2, enable, and then here fill to create the box. Switch from character to text to fill everything. And now I'm going to bring the overall size of that box down, and we're going to place it below our first one. Now we have two of the first core elements. I just need an icon here to represent the location. To do that, I'm going to go to SVG repo, which is a free library of icon that you can use. So here I've just searched location. Then I'm going to select my icon. I'm going to take this one, for example. I'm not going to download a vector because sometimes it's a bit too clunky and complicated inside of DaVinci Resolve. For this usage, we're just going to download a PNG. Then here, I'm not going to select export right away because it's just going to export SVG. So I'm just going to go here to the side and make sure I'm selecting a PNG yet again. Now I can go back to DaVinci Resolve. I can just take my icon and drag it here in my working area. Now to be able to change the color of that icon, what we're going to do is put a background node in between the media and the main composition. So here I'm going to link that media then to the background as a mask, and then I'm going to take the output of that background and link it to our main composition. So now if I go over to background and I change the color here, let's say for white, as you can see now, it has been applied to our icon. Now to adjust the size and position of that icon, I'm going to add a transform node. So I'm going to hit shift space on my keyboard with the background node 2 selected, and I'm going to search for transform, bring that in, and now it gives us control over the size and the position of that icon. So I'm going to reduce the size considerably, and we're going to drag that here in the corner. Now that we have all of our elements, we just need to readjust the size and position to align everything properly. To do that, I'm just going to go back and forth between the size and position in the text node 1, text node 2, and the transform. So let's start with this. I'm going to increase the size a little bit, move it to the side, bring it up maybe a little bit, and then I'm going to follow up with the New York one. I'm going to add that to the side. I'm going to reduce the size a little bit as well. And here, I'm also going to make sure that I'm selecting H anchor. That way here, if I were to add some text, as you can see right now, the text is being shifted to the left of the frame because our anchor is on the middle. So right now, what we're going to do is do a left anchor. That way, if we were to add some text, it's not going to be shifting to the left side. It's just going to stay anchor to the left. Now I'm going to bring that and align it with my icon. I'm going to bring it down a little bit so it's aligned with the top of the icon. You can use, those grid as a way to line things up properly. And now let's go over to text 2. And I'm going to reduce the size of text 2 a little bit. And then I'm going to realign that perfectly with my New York title. So now that we have our layout, we're just going to move on to the animation. For the animation, we're going to do something simple. We're going to keyframe stuff on the position and opacity. So to do that, I'm going to select here my merge 3, and then I'm going to hit shift space on my keyboard and bring another transform node. Drag that in. And basically that's going to allow me to adjust the position or the size of the entire composition, because that node is at the end of everything that we've done so far. For this one, let's make the animation 1 second to come in. So right now I'm on a 30 FPS timeline. So that means it's going to go from frame 0 to 30 to complete the animation. I'm going to put a keyframe here on the position at frame 30. And then we're going to go down to frame 0 and drag that outside of the screen. Now, if we play it, you see the title is coming outside of the screen into the screen. Now, you may notice that the animation doesn't look so good. It's quite linear and, it feels a bit bumpy. So the way to fix that is go over here to the Spline editor, and we're going to select our transform 2. We're going to click here, zoom to fit, so we can see all of our points. Select the 2 points that we've created and hit the letter S on our keyboard. That's already going to smooth out the animation considerably. As you can see now, it's a lot smoother. Now we can go a step further and basically adjust those little handles to create like a curve that is even smoother. I'm gonna hit the letter T on my keyboard to bring the ease in and ease out, and I'm gonna increase the ease in to about 85. And that's gonna make our animation look a lot smoother and a lot nicer. Now, additionally, I'm gonna add an opacity animation. So I'm gonna select my transform 2, hit shift space on my keyboard and search for brightness. And I'm gonna bring a brightness and contrast node in my timeline. Now, by selecting the brightness and contrast node, I'm gonna go and select here the alpha channel to activate it. And we're gonna do the same thing. Just I want it to be fully complete, maybe earlier than the end of the animation. So maybe around frame, let's say 17, so midway roughly through the animation. We're going to drop a keyframe here on the gain at 1, and then we're going to go to frame 0, and we're going to bring the gain down to 0. And that way, on top of our movement animation, we're having that slight opacity animation. For this one, there is no need to smooth the curve because something linear tends to work good anyway for opacity animation. Now, if you don't want to build this yourself and want to use this directly in your edit page as a drag and drop template, you can download it with the link in the description below. It's part of our free starter pack, which contains over 300 assets across 20 categories. It's completely free for personal and commercial use, and over 200,000 editors are already using it. Just click the link below, fill up the form, and we'll send it directly to your email. After downloading your pack, you'll get a zip file. Double-click on the zip file to unzip it, which will give you a folder. In that folder, you'll find a couple of things: the installation instruction, the license, the GRFX file for DaVinci Resolve, and the font used to create the assets. Start by installing the fonts. Without them, DaVinci Resolve will not know which font to use, which can result in a black screen when you drag your title onto the timeline. To install the font, simply go to the font folder. If you're on Mac, just select all the font and double-click on them. This will open a window asking if you wanted to install the font. Select Install. If you're on Windows, same thing. Just select all the fonts and then right-click and select Install. Alternatively, you can drag or copy and paste the font directly into your computer fonts folder. Once the fonts are installed, double-click on the GRFX file to install the pack. This process is the same for both Mac and Windows. This will open DaVinci Resolve, if not already, and prompt open a window asking if you want to install the pack. Select Install. Now, once you get back to DaVinci Resolve, you'll find it by going over to Effect, then Title, Video Editor Studio, and just open that until you found the free starter pack. And in the free starter pack, you'll find the location section. Here you'll see the location 1 title, as well as 5 additional location title that you can use. If we were to drag that location title to our timeline, you'll see that pretty much we've got exactly the same animation that we've created, both for the animation in and the animation out, but we can also very easily switch that animation for something else. So here, if we want to have, let's say, the title coming from the left, we can have a pan left instead, and we can do that for the animation in and the animation out. We can additionally adjust the timing of that animation. So we made it 1 second, but right now we could easily switch it and put 2 seconds instead by just inputting 2 seconds. We can also have control over the intensity of the animation. So right now, basically that's the movement range. The more you're gonna increase that, the wider the range of motion gonna be, and the more you're gonna decrease it, the less range of motion you're gonna get. Then you can control all of the other parameters that we've covered together. So you can adjust the overall position, the overall size of the asset. You can also change the icon for something else. So right now it was a pin because that's a location tag. But if you want to add your own pin, or if instead you think an icon will represent something better, you can just swap that for any PNG file that you have, and it will work exactly the same way. You can change then the color, the size, the position, so on and so forth. And same thing here for the text. You retain all of the parameters that we've covered together in Fusion. So that's how you build this from scratch in Fusion. I hope this video was helpful. Please let me know in the comments what kind of video you would like to see next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.